Hey guys, welcome to the video. Guys, yesterday I did a very intense video. I was really emotional, let's say, as a man, emotional state, which usually is like angry. And I discovered basically what was the problem. And I think it was part of the process, really. What happened was I started doing 1 hour meditation a while ago. And from that I become way more aware of everything, right? So first, you know, the first thing I started doing like a year ago was realizing how I had a sexual addiction where I was just having sex and masturbating, and I felt ashamed of that. My life was a mess. I was not enjoying it. I didn't like it, and I didn't want to continue that path. So I started watching a bunch of videos about guys talking about practicing semen retention and how boxers do it to get stronger and how people did it and became like millionaires. So I got hooked up on that, and I was really by that time I was already really religious, and so I thought that uh, God would praise me and reward me from that sacrifice. So I did it, and I had a bunch of videos about it. My channel mainly grew from it until I 500 subscribers or near 500, and then I delete them. It's not. I don't think it's deleted. It's just private because the older self of me is an older self. So I don't see myself no more in that person, and I kind of look it as my more childish. Um, and that's gonna happen over life. People say, "Oh, don't do content. Don't put yourself out there because it's gonna be there forever." And someone can watch or later in life, someone who's gonna watch how you were, and it's like I have no problem with that. If you are gonna judge somebody from how he was at 23 or 22, you a dumbass. Literally, there's no other way of putting it. I know perfectly well that a 23-year-old person, a 20 years old person, mentally is not fully developed as a 25. So I already don't respect that people like that or that type of argument. Neither am I a coward. Neither am I a coward. Okay, and because everybody is a coward, everybody end up being losers, slaves to the society, slaves to the system that are trying to enslave you. And I'm not with it. So apart from that, I'm Christian. So all my study when I read the Bible is about standing up, saying the truth, going for good instead of for evil. So you definitely have to put yourself out there because it's too much evil uh, happening, and we need to bring uh, the good, the way people to improve, the way people to level up, the way people to elevate. And yeah, I will not close my mouth, um, because everybody who's scared, I look at them, I see a loser, I see somebody who's pretty pathetic, physically, mentally, spiritually, and for me is an embarrassment. So I don't hear to people who are below me, and that's how it is. But continuing the story, um, I started realizing I had a sexual addiction, and I don't want to say I overcame it, but I almost overcame it, and I did many months without indulging on any type of like without without, yeah, I did months without indulging on a sexual behaviors, and from a day or other I might like lose control. But overall, uh, last year probably there were more days of the year that I was not indulging on sexual behavior than indulging. In the past, I was like addicted, so it was every day, multiple times. So I do think I almost overcame that addiction. I know this mental. I know it's probably never gonna go away. Because we are animals. In the end of the day, you see attractive female, you feel excited. You think of an attractive female, you feel excited, okay? And you build in yourself a drug where you touch yourself and gives you pleasure. So that's how addiction starts. But that doesn't matter now because it's not the topic of this video. The topic of this video is I overcame that, and then a few days ago, or weeks, I think it's days, I told you on a video, a very vulnerable video where I told you guys how I was addicted to food. I didn't know. I didn't know I was addicted to food. And I finally realized that because, yes, my past was, in the past, when I was in my lower states, I was, overeating, eating junk food, even eating bad stuff. But then I changed to eating more healthy. But even though I was eating healthy, in that vacations that I went, I started eating bad, and I realized that I'm like it doesn't really matter. Like a food addiction, it doesn't really matter what it is. If you eat junk food or bad food like gluten, dairy, processed sugars, processed food, um, meats, and there uh, there I don't remember the word, but it's like me, associate things that are associated with the animals, right? Like eggs and milk and that stuff. If you eat that type of stuff and you are addicted to food, you're gonna get fat. But that doesn't mean you're not addicted to food if you are eating only healthy foods like fruits, vegetables, and nuts. You maybe don't will not look fat, maybe you will look more healthy than most people, but you're still gonna get a little bit fat. You're still gonna have a fat face. You're still not gonna have a full abs showing like no fat on it. You know what I mean? So if you have fat on your body, it just means you are overeating. And I got to that realization that I was eating emotionally. I was eating emotionally and not because I was hungry. And even I don't do water fast no more because the water nowadays, is mixed up with plastic. It don't are not as clean as people think. Even the bottles that you might buy it is not the most hydrating liquid that you can have. In comparison to like fruits, in comparison, like fruits are really the source of irritation that the human body needs, not really water, but most people don't have that notion. And it's okay. I already explained in the past video. I don't want to go there again because these videos talk about uh, these addictions and how I realize or finally stop denying, being in denial about other addiction that I have. And this is the video. It's like I, s- I finally got accountability that I was addicted to sex, so I stopped it. Then a few days ago, I got aware that I was addicted to food. I was eating just because I want to feel pleasure or I want to run away from stress or feeling or boredom. And I start fasting, right? I start fasting and having like trying to do 1 meal a day. And I lost a lot of fats in my face, in my body. I start feeling way better. And I was in denial because I was smoking. I was still smoking, and I was thinking, oh, smoking makes me more aware, makes me more like just better. And yesterday was clearly the opposite. And why smoking is so bad, and that's the main topic of this video, that I realized that I have these smoking addictions and definitely have to stop. And I'm definitely going to explain to y'all from experience why smoking is so bad. And the reason behind it is that when you our lungs are one of the most important, if not the most important organ on our body. When you have like deep lungs, you have energy, you have good mood, you feel good, you feel um, hype, you can have a great performance, you feel energy to work on your skills. um, but if you smoke, it burns your lungs, which shrinks it. You can barely breathe right, even just one uh, joint or one cigarette, regardless of what you smoke. And that makes your lungs burn and shrink, and now you're not breathing properly. What the result of that, even if you don't get sick like I did, the result of that is because you know cannot breathe well, you go into fight or flight state. A fight or flight state, it means you're always anxious. You're always anxious. You're lazy because you can barely breathe right. So you don't feel like working out. You don't feel like working on your business, working on your skills. You feel in the worst moods because, to be honest, you are killing yourself. You are killing your body. So you feel in your worst moods. Um, and you get sick. Eventually, you're gonna get sick. And that was what happened to me. I was in denial. I was like, oh no, smoking made me like see things clearly. I enjoyed the feeling, and it's gonna be a very hard thing for me to stop. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be a very hard thing for me to stop because the sexual thing, I got to a state now that I don't even. I could have sex with females. Uh, is way easier for me now to um, mate with a female, but it's just like I want to be successful. The more things are getting more clear and clear, and I don't know if it's from. I think it's from everything: praying, reading the Bible, the meditation to becomes more aware. But I want to be very successful in life. I wanna be very successful because we live in a world where people enslave us, and they want you to be working a job that you don't like most part of the day. They lie to you about giving you uh, letting you know that when you are old you can stop working, and they just want you to be a slave, give you bad food for you to feel sick, and spend money on meds and bullshit. And it's just very psychopathic from who is ruling this type of stuff. Who's ruling us basically. And I believe that I don't believe these people are satanic, a lot of them, and I'm a godly person, so I want to believe that if I go and do the right things, I'm going to elevate and not be punished, just like many were in the past. And you can read the Bible to see that these happened before, where people just got hooked up on addictions, and like they end up being slaves. Okay, and this happened many centuries, for many centuries, in different generations. So I want to believe that if I do what Jesus instruct me to do, I'm not gonna be a victim like most people will and already are being. um, so yeah, um, I'm gonna stop smoking. so I can improve and have my best performance. And I already feel better because yesterday I smoked once in the morning. I felt horrible, but just today I already feel better, having my lungs clear. I don't feel as sick. Yesterday I went for a run, which is something I have to incorporate way more. And yeah, I want to continue to do the 1 meal a day. Um, totally like fast in a state where I ain't drinking anything, I ain't eating anything. I'm just fasting because I was enjoying, I still am, but I want to improve even more, lose all the fat in my face, look way better, look way more handsome. Uh, my abs are showing way more. I always had abs, but now I'm just enjoying the process, and I want to elevate because I feel like every time you eat, you are putting food on your body where it's going down. So you are dumbing down your energy. And when you don't have food, you feel your lungs clear, you don't feel heavy, you feel light. So you start elevating. And you have many physical aspects showing that your hair gets thicker. Like, why you know that you lose hair because you have bad circulation on it. So if you stop eating and eating fruits that are like light food, and also in the Bible the food that God told us that was made for us when we were in paradise, Adam and Eve was in paradise. um, you see your health getting better, you losing the fat, your hair getting thicker, your skin more clear and more shiny. And I truly believe that overeating or eating multiple times a day is just having putting more a heavy weight on your body where you cannot elevate. And I felt the experience where when I fasted, my mood was way better. I felt way better. My testosterone was jumping, right? And I want to elevate. So I was in denial, and I thought that, oh, I'm sick because I'm not eating enough. But that's not true. That was not true because me fasting for like a week or two, like this, trying to do my, I think it was a week, but trying to do my best to not eat unless I'm really hungry, which is all mental because if you have fat on your body, um, it's really not hungriness. It's just you are not able to deal uh, with a lot of like traumas and stress on your mind where you just need to eat. And you see that a lot because when you see people who really fast, like can fast for days, they always see like say, I could continue and I know nothing bad will happen if I continue. I just need to eat. And it's not hungriness. It's a mental thing. It's a mental thing. Uh, so I want to elevate and I want to trust the process. In the Bible, it said that if you fast, not fast to show people that you are fasting and you are like suffering, but fast for God's, fast for elevation. Yeah, God will reward you. Okay, and I felt personally, I saw when I was fasting and I was losing the fat on my body. I was looking at myself again in the mirror and enjoying what I was seeing. Looking at myself again in the phone and enjoying what I was seeing, and it just showed me, oh, it's me again, how I used to be when I was younger. So that's a part of life where it showed me that that was better, and I felt more confident, and I felt um, more happy with myself, having more self love. So I want to keep going in this process, and I truly believe is going to benefit me. Am I afraid to get sick or to get worse? Definitely. Imagine like my main I have a fruitarian diet, so my main source of food is fruits and nuts. And I want to just have one meal a day, and I'm not going to drink or eat anything while I'm doing it. So I look better, but it's scary too. And I definitely, the sickness was not from eating. I thought it was from the nuts and all that, but yesterday I ate a bunch of nuts and nothing happened. The problem was not what I was eating. The problem was, I think the problem was the smoking. Was a lungs disease. It was a lungs disease, and I was in denial. I was definitely in denial. I just need to stop smoking. It's really bad for health, and I was not aware of how bad it is. But that's something I love of when you do meditation and fast. Is like when you fast, everything gets clear. You know that you're not eating for hungriness. You know you are eating from um, running away from your problems and for pleasure. You know you're not again even the smoking. You know you're not sick from things you're eating this time. You're sick from smoking. So denial uh, gets thrown off when you fast. When you fast and you practice meditation, things get way more clear. So this is the topic of this video. Is I realized I had a sexual addiction in the past, and I don't want to say overcame it, mostly overcame it, because even opportunities that I had, females coming to my house, and they was very eager to come. I denied that because I wanted to keep elevating myself and growing and using this vital energy that we conserve in our body to elevate. Because I know how powerful it really is this practice of similar attention, and I didn't want to go lower my level again and feel bummed out just for pleasure, just for sex with a female that I don't really see myself in a relationship. Uh, then the food addiction is the next one, but now is the smoke addiction. Now is the smoke addiction because I'm really tired of not elevating. I'm really tired of not being successful. I really am. It's like I've been working on myself and trying to be really successful a while now, like 2 years or more. I would say 2 years. And for the longest, I was like, what's wrong? Like, I'm working out so hard. I'm showing out people how I'm really like giving my all and doing things that most people can't do. Why am I successful? And I was getting like bitter and resentful because of that. And now that I'm doing these practices, I do understand that I was still lacking bluntly. I was still smoking. An addiction takes out your performance. It's like putting shackles on your body where you can move in a worse way. I was still overeating, which again puts weight on your body. You feel more lazy. You can't elevate. And I was indulging on sexual acts, even though it was not like recurrent, and I was striving my best to not do it. I was failing from time to time. And now I have this realization that I was so bitter and so resentful because I was working out way more than everybody else. I was trying to do, I was doing things that most people ain't doing, and most people don't want to do it, and most people just don't put their work. So I was getting uh, very resentful because of that. But then I had a bunch of addictions, and I was in denial, and I didn't want to. I didn't even thought like, where could I go? How far could I go? How far could I elevate if I just stop these addictions? So now is the time to do it. Now I'm gonna see how further can I elevate in life from having no addictions. And I'm probably gonna discover another because because that's what I'll be seeing that is happening. But that's the goal now. I'm gonna take all my addictions and just focus on that and working on my skills and doing like training, my box and all that stuff. But definitely, this is a new chapter in my life where the addictions have to go away, man. Evil people make you and put things in your life where you can get addicted for you to be a slave. That's how the devil work, okay? And that's why these people, these satanic people, are doing. So it's up to us to stop the addictions and take accountability. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stop smoking, stop overeating, um, and just try to elevate, man. And y'all will know how it's going because y'all know I'll be posting every day. Y'all know I'll be posting every day. So that's it, guys. See you guys on the next one. Bye.